What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Loyal Assertive Podcast. The episode that you're about to listen to is going to have a little bit of technical difficulty in the first 3 minutes, but we got it fixed. Enjoy the show. Whoa,
welcome back.
Whoa,
Do you have to make the ugly faces?
We be all night. What if I sound like that?
You wouldn't have gotten married to me.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
You know what we're going to start off talking about?
What?
The fact that this cord is wrapped up like this.
Oh, yeah, I didn't finish untangling
All right.
yours.
We're going to start off by talking about
got the
something that's trending topic, Beyonce in Dubai, but I guess we should probably introduce ourselves. Hello.
You always go first. So,
Hello. Go ahead.
I'm Megan.
And I'm her husband. Who am I? You know, that's a question for the ages. Who am I?
We don't have enough time for that.
Okay, I'm Jay. Welcome back to the Loyal Assertive Podcast. If you have not joined us here before, it is a great time. You're going to enjoy yourself.
It is.
And that's not me just talking about myself because I think I'm all that, but I do kind of think I'm all that. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. Beyonce in Dubai is like trending. Mm-hmm. So do you know anything about that?
So the only thing that I know has to do with her daughter.
Oh, Blue?
Yes. That's literally. Blue that was told to calm down.
I'm going to tell you one thing. She seems like
a good time.
Kid. Yo, she do seem like a good time. But she seemed like the kid that's like, to me, she seems like Chase.
Yes.
The kid that's like, I really don't care what y'all want me to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? And not even in like I don't see her. I've seen some kids be like utterly disrespectful. You know what I mean? I don't see her doing and being that. It just seems like she moved to the beat of her own drum.
Well, and to me, it seems like she doesn't care that her mom is Beyonce.
Or her father. Her father
yeah.
is Jay-Z.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it phases her. So it's just her mom.
Yeah, but she was ready to let that show have it. You hear me? You hear me? But yeah, anyway, Beyonce's trending. Everybody's doing that. So that's my contribution to it. That's all y'all gonna get. But it's trending because she didn't want anybody to record that show.
So the fact that I saw anything was problematic.
Yes.
To her.
Because she had people like they gave them these little bags to put their phones and everything in, and they weren't supposed to be recorded. That didn't work out, Beyonce. No, that just did not work out. What do you think I've been thinking a lot about this in particular as an artist, but I want to talk about both sides. So I want to talk about the fact that as an artist, there is this element that's missing in this day and age because everybody has a recording device, where like you were supposed to be it was supposed to be that an audience would enjoy a show, and the artist got the opportunity to put on a different show every time and give people an experience, but that experience is kind of lost because people are seeing a show that they didn't even pay for.
Right.
What is that noise?
I don't know.
So what we were talking about before we had this little bit of technical difficulty was the fact that it used to be that you could go to a show and experience something that nobody else was experiencing because they had to be there to kind of see it. Right. But we now live in a day and age where everybody records everything all the time, so the wonder is a little bit lost. Yes. So I want to kind of talk about it from her perspective because I do think that like if you spend all this time, and we know from the past with her, she'll spend months on one show.
Yes.
Right? So if you spend all this time and you're trying to create an experience for the people who actually paid to be there, yeah, I think you do kind of want to like not, you know what I mean, have everybody see it.
Yeah.
But then I also wondered like, is there something else to like the consumer side where it's like, yo, but if I can't be there, like, why wouldn't you share this thing with me? So anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about like, do you feel like there's any ethical thing that's there? Should an artist just have the ability to be like, yo, I'm never going to show anybody anything unless they pay for it? Because I think that, like, you know what I mean? Like, that could be an element of it. I don't know. I just want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think as an artist, especially of her caliber and the audience that she has, I think that she can make requirements of anybody because, like, if you don't want to abide by those requirements, then don't pay for it. like then don't support her.
Yeah.
But I think as an artist, she has the ability, as long as it's set up like that from the beginning. Hey, you can come to this show, but you have to check all recording devices at the door, and there's going to be some kind of like ramifications if you don't.
Yeah.
Because I guess my thing is there any ramifications for the people that have put these videos out? Because obviously you know who's putting the videos out because somebody's putting them out. So, but to me, what it seems like, and I don't know because I didn't even know any of this before now, but I would think now people are going to go to her stuff that she's saying don't record and try to be that one, because then everybody is looking at you. There's more incentive to be that one who got to record the stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know that I thought about it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think that we just don't. We live in a day and age where nobody respects anything.
I completely agree with you.
In my opinion, nobody respects privacy. Nobody respects just kind of like rules. Because everybody has a phone, we just feel like it's free game to record anything all the time. Yeah. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, we have another channel on YouTube called J&M where we'll vlog and stuff like that. But when I'm out in public, I am intentionally not trying to record other people because they didn't sign up for that. You know what I mean? We've decided to do this as a family, but I don't know. I do think there's a lot of different elements included in this. She paid for everything that show became. The people who were there paid to see what she paid to produce. You know what I mean? And then you have other people who are just kind of freely witnessing it, which I think, you know, if you're a fan of somebody, if you can get an inside glimpse, of course you're going to want to. Of course you're going to try to. That is what makes reality shows popular, is because you get to see into a space that you otherwise shouldn't be a part of. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I understand it, but I'm also just like, I understand where she's coming from as well. So I'll be interested to see if there are any legal ramifications for, like you said, like the people who did drop what she didn't want to kind of be out on the
But
planet.
I also think too, like as an artist, I think when we are recording everything, especially these big shows, it takes away the humanity of the person because we expect perfection. Yeah. And so, especially from her, because of the stage, the platform, how hard she works. Yeah. That I would assume that these artists, when they go to perform and they mess up, what does that do to you psychologically, knowing that something that you've worked hard for and you mess up and it's going to be blasted across the internet for everybody to not only see but comment on. Yeah. So I just think of it in that, like, I can understand that of not wanting it to be recorded for that reason too.
Yeah, and they were already blasting her because apparently she had some type of foot surgery, so she had on these real little short little kitten heels, so they was clowning her for that. But I want to move on, and I want to kind of tie this to something else. Who are you right now? Who would you say that you are right now? Would you like me to go first? Because you know you always need time to think.
I mean,
are you good?
I think I'm okay for right now. I mean, it might change. My answer might change, but I think I'm trying to figure that out. For my entire life, I have tied my identity to other people. Yeah. So like, I'm either my parents' child, my sibling's sibling. You know, for the last 13 years, I've identified as your wife, and for the last 11 years as one of my child or all of my child's mother. And so I think
they call children, not childs. Because you say I can't say mine, so you can't say child's.
You're right.
Go ahead.
All of my children's mother. And so I think this year I'm trying to be intentional to answer that question. I just don't have the answer yet.
I got you. So who am I right now? So who I am right now is somebody who is not willing to be a slave of anybody but Jesus.
There you go.
And what I mean by that, I think that I'm realizing I have given people a lot of control over these last 35 years.
Dad, you're old.
Shut up. You older than me. So I think that, like, I am just unwilling to I'm just unwilling to allow people to control me when I have a master.
Yeah.
I have a Lord. You know what I mean? And so that just shows up in a lot of different ways. It shows up in people pleasing. It shows up in kind of the fear of what people are going to think if I do things this way or the other way. Yeah, I just don't want to live like that no more. You know what I mean? And I think that I am realizing that it is okay for me to be who I am. We talked about this in the previous episode, but it's okay for me to be who I am, even if somebody else don't like that.
Yeah.
And I don't have to become a slave to what they think about me and what their opinions are and what their impression of me is, in particular if it's wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I think that there are people who have the right impression of you, and you need to hear that and respect that and honor that. But at the same time, if I spend my life being concerned by everything everybody say and try to make every single move based off of what everybody say, that really is just bondage. Like, I just don't know no other way to put that. That is very much slave master slave. You gonna do what I tell you to do, how I tell you to do it, when I tell you to do it, why I tell you to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that we often think about ourselves enslaved to other people.
Right.
When in reality, we really can be. You know what I mean?
And to kind of take that mentality a step further, are we actually slave to other people, or just our thoughts of what we think other people think or feel or say?
But I think that still is being enslaved to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I posted a short on our other channel recently about, like, it is not your job to govern somebody else's thoughts of you. Mm-hmm. But when you spend your time governing somebody else's thoughts of you, your thoughts are being governed by their thoughts of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think that, if we don't think like this, but I wanted somebody to hear that, because I think I've been wrestling through that. I've been wrestling through, what does it look like for me to not be governed by my children's thought of me?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, like, your kids have all kinds of thoughts of you depending on how they experience you, what they want from you, what they feel like they should have gotten from you, and X, Y, and then even us with each other.
Sure,
you know what I mean? Like, you have expectations of me.
Mm-hmm.
I have expectations of you.
Right.
Some of those should be governing us. Some of them should not be governing us.
Yeah, so there's tension there, because you need to figure out where it's appropriate that you do consider others and others' feelings.
Yeah.
And where is it gone too far?
So I want to talk real quick about something that you said, because I think that it speaks to something that our best friends just talked about on their channel. By the way, go follow More Love with R&B. Those are our best friends. Their names are Rhea and B, and you can follow them on More Love with R and B. And they just posted this video talking about growing pains in a marriage, right?
Yeah.
And so something that I was thinking about, because you just said, when I asked, who are you? You're like, I'm still trying to figure that out. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, this is an honest question and she does not know I'm going to ask this, and I probably shouldn't be doing this while this camera is rolling, but here we are. Do you feel like I give you time and space to figure out who you are?
I think yes and no.
Okay.
And I say that I think you say that the space is there. You want the space to be there.
Yeah.
But sometimes functionally the space just isn't there. Like, there are certain expectations that are required, whether it's you as my husband, or just the reality that, we have 4 kids, both of our jobs, all of those things, the regular things that happen with life where there is no space for that. But I think that the desire to have that space is there.
Yeah, I am. Here's what I've realized. I take up a lot of space. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I have spent most of my life, because this is kind of where my side of, like, I don't want to be governed by anybody else comes from.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of my life trying not to take up as much space as I know I take up, because people don't like that. I think that in our marriage, obviously, like, you and I relate to each other more often than anybody else, and more closely than anybody else that we relate to, right? Yeah. Outside of our kids, but I think even more than with our children. Right?
I agree.
But then also with our children, they have a closer vantage point in connection to us than anybody else does. And so I think that one of the things that I'm realizing is, yeah, we have a 6-member family, but I come in the room and I do take up a lot of the air. A lot of the oxygen gets sucked out the room by me, not just because I'm fat, but because my personality is big. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that the tension for me has been, how do I be me in this relationship whilst, that's an old age word, you know what I'm saying? Whilst, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that I'm creating space for you to have the expression and the agency that God actually made you with, to, you understand what I'm saying? Like to be able to explore who is Megan at, you know what I'm saying? So, but and I want you to have that. I think for me, it is just kind of natural for me to take up space. So there's this tug of war, because what has to happen for you to be able to figure out who you are is I got to calm down a little bit sometimes. And then here's the other thing, and we may have talked about this before too, but my speed by which I do everything is extremely fast. I do communication quickly. I process quick. I do relationship very fast. I figure out problems fast. And you need time
to figure out the right answer, because you just got an answer, but I have the right one.
Or so now y'all know where our arguments be coming from, because she thinks she got the right answer, but so do I. So who has the right answer? If our answer's different, we both got the right answer. Who in the world got the right answer? Both of us probably got the wrong answer. We just out here fighting like we got the right one. But nah, I think that, like, I want you to hear me say, and I've said this before, so this ain't nothing new for y'all, but I want you to have a space to figure out who you are. And I think for me, in particular, more importantly, who God made you to be. Yeah. Who God's even fashioning you into being. You know what I mean? Y'all, listen, we believe in Jesus. So our Bible says that, like, God is consistently trying to make us more and more like Jesus. Right. He's trying to perfect us. Yeah. And I think what comes with that process is you have to shed all of the things that God didn't want for you, that your parents tried, that they put on you, whether that's knowing or unknowingly. You know what I'm saying? Like, they put on you your environment, your circumstances, your friendships, how you grew up, the neighborhood you grew up in. All of those things put things onto us that as adults we have to realize, I gotta take this off. Yeah, I don't like wearing this hat. I'm gonna take this hat off. Yeah. I don't even need these glasses. Let me take these glasses off. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't see. They gonna put glasses on me because they couldn't see. Yeah. And I'm using that because I want people to have kind of a mental picture of what this process looks like. Yeah. But I think that, like, what I want for you as your husband isn't what I want for you. What I want for you is whatever God intends for Megan to be. And at every phase of her life. Yeah, and I will say, like, you've done a good job of allowing me to explore that, and even, like, pushing me to explore that when I haven't necessarily wanted to. I think the reality is that for the most part, like, you're always looking for ways that you can make sure that I have a place to speak. I think most of the stuff that I encounter of your bigger personality, the space that you take up, it probably has more to do with things outside of your control than in your control. Because the reality is that because you have a larger personality, people then respond to that larger personality, but don't necessarily consider that. Like, I just think that, and whether that's other people outside of this home or even our own children, they respond to you based off of the space that you take up, and that's not something that you can necessarily change. Does that make sense? Are you saying that the impact that my person has is people see me, so they respond to me and may not be considering you? Yes. Got you. Yep. No, I think that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's why I say, like, I don't think that it's your doing. I just think that it comes with the territory almost. But then the other part of that again is outside of your control, is that for so long, and I think that we've talked about this before, is I haven't felt like I had the value to
to bring anything. And so I've had to, within my own self, do that work to say, no, actually, just because I don't look like somebody else over there or think like somebody else over there or process as fast as somebody else over there doesn't mean that I don't have something to bring.
Yeah. Yes. I think that, like, even with the kids, you know, I have more recently just been continuing to remind them that, like, there are ways in which they can treat you and ways in which they can't treat you.
Yeah.
As my wife. And then just as a person, like, I think that, you know, anybody who has a family, you understands this. Whether you have a partner or not, whether you have kids, anybody that relates to anybody can get this. You can be lost in the shuffle of the group.
Yep.
Meaning,
yep.
You know, like, because we are a family unit, a unit has to move together. And then, but sometimes what can happen is your individuality in the unit, which helps make the unit special, can be lost because some people in the unit want more of this from you, or they don't care what you want to offer. They want this thing. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know. Like, I think that we are trying to war with that here to make sure that, like, there does need to absolutely be a unity of direction,
right?
A unity of relationship and heart and mind with this house, but at the same time, everybody here is still an individual person.
Yeah.
No matter what the similarities are in the blood that is shed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question: Who are you right now? You said yes, like I was talking to you.
I did. I was like, yes.
Answer that question. You know, who you are right now, I'm sure it's different than who you were last week. Yeah. Because you experienced something last week that contributes and changes who you are this week, and last month and last year. And so, I don't know, I just think it's important to kind of be asking who you are right now, because that does determine how you show up in relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you need is determined by who you are right now. And it may just very well be different than what you've needed in the past. And again, I want to shout out More Love, because I'm like, yeah, that's a really important thing to talk through.
Yeah.
As it relates to, hey, you and I are doing life together, and you cannot just assume that I'm the same person, and I cannot just assume that you're the same person. And here's one. We can't assume we're the same person that we were before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think it's a very valuable thing to ask yourself, who am I, this word, today?
Today.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. We only got a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Because we got to go get our kids. I want to do a segment that we have yet to do called Tick Be Talking. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk about this lady. Her name is Tanera Double Chocolate. All right? So we're going to put this up here for y'all to see it, but we is going to watch this right now. I don't know if anybody else, like, has fallen into the wormhole that is TikTok. But I definitely have. Have you fallen into the wormhole?
Listen, I have, like, tried for so long not to, and I got stuck. Yep. I did get stuck, and now I feel like I'm this TikTok snob where if the bar at the bottom means that it's going to be longer than like 5 seconds, I'm going to skip it. Because
you are ridiculous.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, you're ridiculous.
It's terrible.
So anyway, we're going to watch this little video real quick.
Everybody's so creative.
Everybody's so creative. I love that she said that.
Put just pasta right in an aluminum pan. Don't even take the paper out because you want all the seasoning.
Take the paper out.
Get yourself some clove garlic and dump
That's
it
a lot
right
of
on
garlic.
Because you don't want anybody talking too close to you.
First off, you're not even supposed to have that much garlic. Like that actually is
right on top. Any kind of soup. You don't have to get pasta sauce or anything.
Why is it orange?
She said any kind of soup.
See how that looks different?
See how that looks
Get some diced ham
different?
Or turkey.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. She does an incredible
Make sure
job.
you take your fingers and okay.
You scared me.
I'm hungry. All right, keep on going because why not wash your hands?
I got questions.
No, she didn't wash her hands.
I got.
Now open up the package of
That's a
mushrooms.
low. Can we talk about white people, black people on here?
Don't clean them off because you want it to be very earthy tasting. You like it to taste like it came from out of the dirt. That's very, very earthy. Now put them right on top. See how it looks like potatoes, but it's not? It looks like potatoes, but it's not.
But do you not like rinse? I don't eat mushrooms. Do you not rinse them or anything
Yeah,
first?
it's like potatoes, but it's not.
On your countertops, anything, pour it all together, and it's gonna be delicious.
Hey yo.
We add cheese. I knew it wouldn't be complete without cheese. It won't slide down easy if it ain't cheese. Slide down easy.
Why?
Well, Grover's hungry too.
Grover's hungry too.
Now we want to go and get some what? All right, get some water.
Get some
we want to
water.
have water. I was wondering how that pasta was going to cook. What you don't? But it's
The dog is drinking out of the
water
cup.
right on in there and just let it all fester
I
together.
can't. Because now I have
All right, I'm
questions.
not finishing it.
Can't.
Listen, y'all can go watch this video.
No.
I got a question, yo.
I've got questions.
We don't be being them people because, but whatever. Like, I just be feeling like there do be some stuff that's just like white people stuff versus, black people stuff. And be real quick, I don't necessarily believe in the construct that is black and white in the form of racist. I think we have different ethnicities, but God made us the human race.
Yep.
So I'm not saying there's no such thing as like black people and white people, but I think those terminologies are stupid. But I'm going to use them today. So here we are. White people, sometimes y'all be doing stuff that ain't stuff that people should be doing. So when she say that's different, what she really saying is that's dumb. Why y'all doing that and it's nasty?
No.
I don't.
Like,
now
her hand was in the dog's mouth.
You have been white all your life, so you tell me.
I have.
You are the resident white person here in this house. So help me understand why that's okay.
So listen, I'm probably not the best person to ask that because my family always had dogs growing up, and my family let the dog go anywhere in the house. It didn't matter.
You're gonna get in trouble for this.
Listen, but they know. They know. I refused to sit on their couch because the dog sat on their couch. So I'm saying that to say I probably am not the best person to
I
just have questions because she thought it was okay for her hand to be in the dog's mouth and then use that and put it and the dog ate some of the cheese and left she put it in the
hold on, she said, "Oh!" Hey yo.
I can't. And then she fed it with I can't.
Yeah.
I'm never eating at her house.
Okay. Yeah, y'all should watch. Now does TikTok have channels? Is it a page? I don't know what they call it.
I'm still learning.
That's a TikTok person. You should absolutely just watch all the videos. Like, watch them all.
Watch them all, yes.
Watch them all. Okay, what do you want to talk about in reference to TikTok? Because I know you want to talk about something that's trending on there too that I don't want to talk about. But go ahead.
No. My contribution actually to this was the fact that I was going to be anti-TikTok for so long.
Oh, but you don't want to talk about flowers?
Listen, that's actually what got me on TikTok. I'm not going to lie. So
I still haven't listened to this song by Miley Cyrus, but my wife loves it, apparently. So
it's just addicting.
She had my children listen to it. It sounds like a sad song. I don't want to be sad right now.
No, this is actually what got me on TikTok. So I was talking to my sister and my sister-in-law, and they are full TikTok fans. And so they were talking about Miley Cyrus and what is her name? What's the Hunger Games? Jennifer Lawrence.
What did you call her the other day?
I called her something wrong. Jennifer Lawrence. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so they're like, you have to go get on TikTok to find out what's happening.
Yeah.
And so now my entire feed, and I didn't even look at her name. I literally just joined, and all of a sudden, every other video is that song. And it doesn't matter. The last video that just popped up on my phone right before we got it, it was like a dog. It was a video of a dog.
Well, because if a song is trending, everybody's going to use it
for anything. Guys, girls, it doesn't matter.
So you think I should listen to the song?
I mean, it's addicting. It is.
Okay. You and I are different as it relates to music. Because I listen to music a little bit more critically than you do.
Just thought, so backstory from what I understand, there's a song by Bruno Mars that Liam Hemsworth dedicated to her.
Pretty sure it's Hemsworth, not Helms.
Whatever. Dedicated to her at their wedding. And she literally took the part of the song and flipped it.
Got it.
So, to me, lyrically, I think she did a great job.
Okay, well, I'm going to listen. We're going to talk about this on the next episode. Also, coming up on the next episode, we're going to ask a question. Are we trapped in this marriage? Coming up next. Anyway, we love y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. See y'all later. Peace out.
Jay and Megan got that heat.
Welcome back to the Loyal and Assertive. Welcome back to the Loyal and Assertive. Welcome back to the Loyal and Assertive. Welcome back to the Loyal and Assertive.